Hello and welcome to Lynette's Pampered Kitchen. I am coming to you today for a little bit different reason. Today, October 15th, 2021, is the 40th anniversary of the first Pampered Chef party. And I love my new apron. I came for the pizza, stayed for the dough. This is such a fun one because the story of Pampered Chef is all about how Doris Christopher wanted to find a way to provide for her family, but yet still be there for her young daughters and her husband through the years. And she started out one rainy night in Chicago with, I think it was 8 crates of products because there was no catalog. And she made a frozen pizza on our pizza stone. That's her story, and all of us have a different story. And I want to share with you my story today because all of us are different, okay? I would say 19 years ago, I went to my first Pampered Chef party. No, actually, it was longer ago than that. It would have been in the fall of 1989. So that was much longer ago. That was my first Pampered Chef party. Never heard of it. Loved the recipes and the foods that were made. And I bought a unique little tool, which I no longer have today because I didn't really use it that much, but it was fun. And then it was 14 years later that I went to the next Pampered Chef party that I ever went to. And I bought this, the spoon rest, and I love it. We no longer sell it, but I still have it and I love it. During that time, somewhere in there, my mom gave me some little brown scrapers. Okay, everybody has those. They're no longer little and brown, they're blue. But she said I needed them. And she also said I needed this. And this is our mix and scraper. And so that, when I started my Pampered Chef business, these are the 2 things I owned. Now, you say, well, that's kind of weird. Well, I didn't really know anything about Pampered Chef. I hadn't really heard much about it. And suddenly I was invited to 2 different parties. And at the second party, I heard the consultant say that I could earn, or anyone could earn, approximately $100 every time you left your house for a party. And back then, we basically did in-home parties and catalog parties. That was it. And so just a little backstory to that is, at the time, I was widowed and I had 4 children. My oldest was turning 19 and my youngest was 8. And I didn't leave my kids. I very rarely went away in the evening. I needed to, the things I was doing at the time, everything had to be flexible so that I could be there for my kids. I could be there when they left for school, when they got home, when they had activities and so on. So, but I needed more income. And I decided I wanted the food chopper and I wanted the pizza stone. Okay. And when I looked at the kit at the time, I thought, it really makes more sense to buy the kit than it does to buy each of the individual products. And since I didn't have products like this in my kitchen, I thought, maybe I'll give it a try and maybe I can make a couple $100 and, then I'll get the free stuff that I'm supposed to get and then I'll be on my way. But first I had a party because my daughter was going to be getting married and I wanted to be sure that she had some things in her kitchen. And that was fun. Friends came out, we had a good time. And then I told them that I was going to start this because at the party, the one party I had been to, a couple of friends said, you'd be really good at this. And I thought, I don't think so. I was a teacher by training. And at the time I was substitute teaching. So I, yeah, I didn't think so. But the more I thought about it and the more I prayed about it, I knew that this was the direction I was going. And then I found a magazine that had been on my desk for months, and it was a picture of a woman on the front, and it said, "Do what you love." And I read the article, and I realized it was an article in the Guidepost magazine about our founder, Doris Christopher. And it just felt so good because she talked about teaching, how she felt like she was teaching people, and that's what she had been doing as a home economist. And I decided to give it a shot. I was just gonna do it for a couple of months. Like I said, get everything free I could. I'd have my pizza stone, which I was deathly afraid of, and I'd have my food chopper, which I loved, and it would all be good. And maybe I'd make a little money. Well, that was 18 years ago in August, and I'm still here. And I've said all along that I would stay as long as I was still having fun. Can you tell? Either I don't know how to quit or I'm still having fun. And I pretty much say it's the latter. But you know, it's really not all about the products. I love the fact that we have quality products, and every 6 months and sometimes sooner, we bring out new things. And so there's always variety and innovation and quality and lots of support from the company. But you know what else has happened? I have gained just a sense of pride in what I do. I've also gained a lot of experience, and I've grown a lot through all of this. But what I've gained too is friends that have become like family to me. My hosts, my guests, people I have met through the company. I have been so blessed by those relationships. They're some of my closest friends. Some of you have been part of my life that I would have never had if it hadn't been for Pampered Chef. I would have never met these people and had these relationships. So that to me is such a blessing because I'm a people person. And I love learning to know new people and getting to know them and their lives. And of course, there are other benefits. Obviously, I've had income that's been able to support my family, and I've had the flexibility that when my kids are in activities, when they were in college, or, you know, when their kids have things, you know, I can be a part of that because I have the flexibility to work from wherever I am. Because let's face it, we're doing a lot of things online now, and we weren't before, and I can work wherever I am. So that's a blessing. And travel has been such a huge blessing. I have loved the trips we've taken. Some of my kids have been with me. Actually, all of them have gone on at least one trip. The one that was the most memorable to me, two of them. The first time we went to Disney, my daughter was 18. My sons were probably 15 and 10. They'd never been to Disney before. And when they saw the red carpet that was out for us to go into our special night, they were like, this is wacky, this is crazy. And then they could eat anything they wanted and ride any rides they wanted and do all the experiences. They were amazed. And then a few years ago, I took my daughter and her husband and my two oldest grandchildren to the Pampered Chef trip to Disneyland in California. The kids had never flown before. They had no idea until the night before that we were even going anywhere. And we went on that trip to Disneyland, and we had the best time. And of course, they were at a great age because they were young enough that they loved Disney and yet old enough to kind of remember the experience. My grandson loved Mickey. And when we stood in line to see Mickey, and when he got to Mickey and he said, "Mickey, I love you," I was a puddle. I was a puddle. And when my granddaughter looked at me and said, "Mimi, I love the beach, but this was the best trip ever." And then on the bus back to the airport, she asked me what Pampered Chef is all about. And I'll never forget. she said very loudly enough for everyone to hear on the bus and got a big chuckle. Mommy, do you know that Mimi cooks for people and she gets paid to do it? Oh my word. We laughed and laughed and laughed. And now she is a huge Pampered Chef fan. She loves to cook and loves to bake, and she has a bunch of Pampered Chef tools that she uses just for her. So, I mean, those are the stories that touch my heart, because it's more than the money dough. It's the dough, it's the glue that keeps us all together, and it's what keeps me here at Pampered Chef. And I love sharing it with all of you. And on this 41st anniversary, this is a fabulous time for you to join me in the kitchen, for you to join me and my team and all of us at Pampered Chef as part of the Pampered Chef family. And I'd love to have you do that. So I just had to share my heart and my story with you today. Thank you so much for listening. Stay safe, stay healthy, and be pampered.